Hi guys, I am Leslie. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to get back to start talking about my 50 kilo weight loss. I know that people are interested in that and I do like to talk about that. However, I also like to talk about the other areas of my healing journey. You know, things like therapy and depression and isolation and all these different things that I like to talk about on this channel, as well as my 50 kilo weight loss. But today I will be talking about my diet. And I haven't spoken about this yet on my channel because it's really just been a trial and error for me. And I really want you to use your discernment when listening to videos of people talking about their weight loss and people talking about what they eat and how they exercise. It's really important to listen to the information, but understand that every body is different. And so today I'm not telling you to do any of this. I'm just telling you how I maintain my 50 kilo weight loss and how I do that through diet. All right. So yes, I was 120 kilos and I am now sitting around 70 kilos. I am 5'10", so I'm quite tall and I'm very healthy. I think that is more important than anything is the fact that I'm healthy. So I've got my dot points and I am going to be going over the things that I do to maintain and I did to kind of get my diet on track. Because diet has been the one thing that has really helped me get here. If I'm being honest, like this wasn't a crazy workout transformation. Healthy because I got on track with my diet. If you see my other videos, you'll know that I was 120 kilos and I went straight into working out and I was like very hardcore because I was desperate to lose the weight. And I lost about 20 kilos, so I was sitting around 100 kilos, but I started to gain it back because my diet still pretty much sucked. Kind of went backwards and then I went overseas and I still didn't really care about my diet, but I was walking so much. And then I was working, and so I was constantly moving, but my diet was still consisting of just easy food, you know, like whatever was there, like lots of carbs, lots of takeout. I was going out drinking. I was doing everything that I was enjoying my life, but I wasn't healthy. And I was still kind of losing the weight because I was moving so much, like working long hours and I was always on my feet. So obviously I was still losing weight, but not healthy. And then I got sick last December and I've been dealing with a stomach illness since then. Still kind of recovering and still on that journey, but I've learned so much about diet. It's insane. And diet is the key to maintaining everything. The only physical exercise that I can say that I positively do is walking every day. That's mixed with my diet, I've been able to maintain my health. When I first got sick, I switched to a gluten-free diet. And then later down the line, a few months ago, I got a colonoscopy / an endoscopy to figure out what the heck was going on. And they found that I had the gene for celiac, and they didn't tell me that I had it or not, but I truly think that I am because celiac does crazy things to my body. But even before I knew that, going on a gluten-free diet was so beneficial for me, not just because of the effects of what it does when I eat gluten. I have so many fewer options because so many things have gluten in it. I noticed that I don't just casually go and buy food. I have like a whole process now with the way that I eat. And I don't need gluten in my diet. I really don't. When I don't need gluten. It's changed me so well. I'm not as puffy, I'm not as bloated, I'm just so much better without gluten. Second thing, when talking about me specifically, and I'm talking about me, is that I have tried so many different diets since getting sick. It's insane. I've tried everything from 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, low FODMAP, carnivore. I've done everything, and what I've come to notice is that I don't need that many carbs. And that is very risky to say on the internet because it converts to energy and whatever else. I'm not here for the science, I'm so sorry, but from what I've learned is that carbs are very important. And I do get carbs from my vegetables, so I'm not anti-carbs. However, I don't necessarily need that many carbs to function. And I've noticed that since being on a low carb diet, by just getting my carbs pretty much from vegetables, and like sometimes I'll have rice, but because I'm gluten-free, like I don't just reach for pasta. There's options, but I just don't need to. I'm fine without. I can live on a lower carb diet and I'm still healthy, I'm still a functioning human, and that's what's most important at the end of the day, truly, is that we understand our body and what it needs. And personally, I don't need that many carbs. And by not having that many carbs, I've noticed that I've kind of been able to stay lean. If I was moving my body more, and if I was training and I was like at the gym all the time, for sure carbs are important, but I just, for my lifestyle and for what I do, I don't need a heavy carb diet. Once again, not pushing that on you at all. Okay. The next is sugar. Now, sugar is crazy because it's kind of like a gateway into cravings. I notice that when I have a sugary meal, I start to, those cravings come back and they're just constantly there. And when I cut down on my sugar, I don't crave it. I'm okay without it. You know, it takes a little while to get to that point, but I'm okay with eating more whole foods. I don't have those cravings. And sugar is such a crazy gateway thing to eating more and eating unhealthy. And obviously I'm human. I have moments where I'm like, I'm hungry for a cheat meal. And then I will, you know, if I did it, then the next day I wake up and I'm still craving that food. You know, you've got the sugar hit and now you kind of want more of it. Cutting down on your sugar is so important, especially I feel better. I'm not as anxious. My skin is better. My skin is so clear when I don't have sugar. And then the next thing is smaller meals. So I've tried the 1 meal a day and I've tried intermittent fasting, and that actually does work for me very well. But when I'm thinking long term, that's not long term. That's not healthy moving forward. For me, moving forward, smaller meals, you're not overloading your stomach with things to process. You're giving yourself just a little bit at a time, enough to sustain you for the activity of your day. You know, we could argue with the smaller meals and we say, like, once upon a time humans were hunting, and if we think about it in that aspect, we probably were only eating bigger meals less often. But I think we have progressed, our bodies have changed, and I think that eating smaller meals, for me, long term, that's where I'm probably going to be. That makes me feel good, you know, getting my protein and getting my vegetables and feeding myself and my digestive system slowly just helps with cravings as well. Looking into being in a calorie deficit is beneficial. I'm not going to go too far into that because I don't know too much about it, but being in a calorie deficit has helped me a lot with maintaining my weight loss, especially because I have been dealing with stomach issues and I'm not really getting as much movement as I probably could. Still staying in that calorie deficit, it keeps me from gaining weight. And then to finish all of this off, I would say that walking is the one thing that I do every day that has really helped me keep the weight off. And I know that has nothing to do with diet. Mix that with being gluten-free, not having too much sugar, living on a whole food diet, and being in a calorie deficit. All of these things that I have just come to learn about my body specifically, I understand what will keep me from gaining that weight again. Because if there's one thing I'm not doing, it's going back. I can't go back. I was so sad and I was fighting for my life every day. And so by doing these things and by incorporating these things into my diet, I'm happier, I'm healthier, I am more alive in my life, I am a better person all around, I have more self-respect. It's all of these things that I have incorporated into what I do on the daily that have really helped me with my whole journey. So yes, diet is important, yes, movement is important, but it's all of the other things. It's getting to know yourself, getting to know your body, what it likes and what it doesn't like. And I just think it comes down to trial and error. Trial and error. This last year for me has literally just been trial and error. So that is all that I have to say. Make sure that you are feeding yourself with good food and drinking enough water and just the basics. Understanding yourself and what it likes is probably the first step. And this is just what I have found works for me. So thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.